You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. So, good evening, the Pan-African Daily TV family. Thank you for joining this Friday, what my brother Kofi just called a Friday layback. Today's a Friday layback because we want to hear what our community think about the way forward, about the situation on the continent, in the diaspora. How are Africans going through these challenging times and this period? First of all, I want to apologize that today we were supposed to have Dr. Reverend Ninana to share conversation on us on the topic, solidarity and solutions, particularly in these challenging times. But unfortunately, he is not available. He cannot be available on time. So we decided to carry on the program tomorrow because he's connecting from California, Eastern Standard Time. And actually, he made a mistake to think that, it's 3 hours ahead. So he was thinking it's 1 p.m. Eastern time out there, or I don't know what it's Eastern, Western, whatever you call it out there, Californian time or Pacific time. Sorry, Pacific time. That's what he said. And so he wanted to cut off his office time, rush in here in the studio with us. And I said, no, that's not fair. To put him under such challenge and such conditions. So it is okay that, we're just going to relax. It's a Friday evening, particularly where we're talking about in Europe. There's a lockdown again now. People are just home. They don't know what to do. No entertainment, no visitation, no group meetings, nothing. So it's really a challenging times out here. I mean, for those on the continent, I think these are not the kind of cases or challenges that you're facing out there on the continent. I can imagine now is even still evenings time where people are going out on a Friday evening together like this, meet families, hang out, prepare. Christmas is almost around the corner for those that are celebrating. And we just had a Thanksgiving also yesterday in the Americas, or this weekend, some are still going to be celebrating. So we want to get a feedback of the present situation and the way forward. I mean, we've been getting a lot of feedbacks on from the community talking about they don't understand why the African Union should be silent on issues that are affecting the continent, and particularly the situation in Ethiopia and Tigray and Sudan, right? And we're still not even done with the situation in Cameroon, in Nigeria, Biafra land, or in Uganda, almost across the continent. The uprisings that are coming up, and a lot of the community or Africans or young people are actually questioning what is our role in global politics in a situation like this. We're supposed to see the preachers of peace, particularly the United Nations and all these big systems in the world that have always been advocating or criticizing the African continent about the abuse and the marginalization and the injustice and the corruption and all that. But in times of conflicts like this, we don't see them play that major role like a key player to negotiate the peace on the continent or the global peace situation, address it like they will address others. And so Africans are feeling really, really embarrassed and left behind, not only from the leadership on the continent, but also on the global world politics. So it's time. Some people are arguing that why do we only keep pointing fingers to ourselves, whereas we know, or it is very evident and clear that they are some political instruments or some invisible instruments that are controlling and the political situation on the continent. And so it is a Friday layback time. And I want to give a shout out to our brother Kofi Zuma and Lawrence, because in the midst of this time shift, and I also was not aware, what is it that I should do? Should I come on live? Did we really prepare for this? You imagine, I know some people are really ready to get a guest conversation, and then suddenly the guest is not present or would have to delays and stuff like that. Sometimes for some people, particularly in terms of time, when they're ready and set up and following up a press release, it could be a little bit like embarrassing on them. But what we want to guarantee you on the Pan African Daily is this a family conversation. It's just like, like we say, we have to keep in mind that we're doing it our African way. And so in our own way, there are a lot of flexibilities that happen. It the way we do it. But of course, I know we should be professional. But when things like this happen, what do? We don't just back up, because we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot. We have a lot of people that are also looking forward to share a conversation. And so that's why, even like yesterday, when I was talking about the Pan African Daily TV live conferencing app, these are the questions, these are the solutions that this app is going to address. For instance, now we don't have the guests that were programmed today for whatever reason. It could just also be because of technical constraints or the situation that we had with King Maponga yesterday. What do we do? And so we just share the link directly to you. And if somebody is say, oh, I'm ready, we can carry on the conversation, let's pull it on. Or I also have a presentation that I've been looking, and so he could join me live now in the studio, right? So those are all the challenges that we're looking for solutions to address in terms of issues like that, so that we can keep this momentum and the spirit going on. Another thing that we could track down this evenings, as we even were preparing, is like Africans just like, but what time are we living in now? I got a call from Professor Baina Bello, Mama Bello of Haiti, the Queen of Haiti, who reached out to me this evening and was like, she's been reflecting on Fondation Felicite about the period in which we're living in. I mean, we've addressed a lot of issues on the Pan African Daily as a challenge that we're going through. But now we're seeing other dynamics as the time progresses. We see other forces. We see other signs that maybe what we used to think is actually not that, because we see, like I say, other signs and happenings coming up. For instance, I go concretely to the point. I'm giving an introduction of the overall, because I'm going to open the lines to know your impression. How do you feel? We started last year. The lockdown started last year. The pandemic came last year, and a lot of things have unveiled themselves from one situation to the other. Some of them, we call them actually, a challenge. But most conscious Africans are looking at all these happenings as an opportunity. First, it is an opportunity that has been connecting us. I had also a call tonight from a brother from how they call it, Saint Martin's Island in the Dominica, and he said the same thing. They never had no information from the continent, even though they know that they all come from their continent. It's the land of their ancestors, and you can never forget your history or where you come from. That's what Brother Junior told me tonight. But then they have no access to information, whatever. Everything that they knew about Africa, they saw it on the mainstream media. And you can imagine how one-sided these medias are. And so for the first time in his life, he could get in touch through the Pan-African Daily TV conversations, and even could hear people calling from the continent. For him, it was like a dream come true, right? So we get daily testimonials like that. We might be in a lockdown. The pandemic might have come. We've lost lives, and it's even still not ending. The solution is still not here. But it has opened up a lot of connectivity, a lot of unity among us. If we look at the viewership, the followership, the conversations that we've hosted for almost a year, getting to a year and a half, and how much we are connected to the continent today. It is amazing. It is amazing. For me, sitting here with my little team and the community that is watching me and supporting us in every day, we have done a tremendous job. That's why tonight, even as we were worrying, what should we do in Asia? Our brother from the community out there in the US, Kofi Nzuma, who is also in the chat group, just said, "Come on, Susan, come up, open up the lines. We have a lot of things to say." Right. And in the quest of all this, I throw back the question to the community: what do we do now? He's only coming back tomorrow. Do we just carry on the program for tomorrow? And so you get this feedback like, oh, we've been having a lot. There've been in this period not a lot of open calls on the Pan African Daily TV. What if we just relax this Saturday and just even find out who is doing, what are you doing tonight? Where you watching from? And how has this conversations impact your life and your consciousness about the continent? Who have you been able to connect on the program? What businesses have you done? What developmental projects? What projects, even groups and associations and ideas have you developed in this 1.5 year and close to, right? So I'll be opening up the lines, like I said, get a feedback on you. What do you really think at all these things that are happening? What is it that we should be paying attention to? But before we open the lines, I like to really break down what I said. There've been a lot of change in dynamics. Yes, things have happened. There've been a lockdown, a whole world reset. Other countries that were locked down earlier, they're already performing well. We see their COVID cases rising and falling, depending on their situations and their crisis and how they've changed this thing. One thing is very certain that we all know that yes, the pandemic is there. That's a fact. The virus is there. Whatever happened, however it came, whatever the situation is, it's clear that it is. So we're not refusing that part, but other countries have come up with models and situations and solutions and vaccines and all that they could do, to fight the pandemic or to provide a solution in their own context and in their own format. This is one of the first things that exposed us as Africans, our incapabilities. The governments, the people. In the beginning, we heard about a COVID organic from Madagascar. Until today, there's been nothing about it. We didn't know anything that happened. We've heard about leaders that came out and said, yes, I mean, it's a global pandemic, and every nation, every people, every continent, they're looking for solutions to their challenges. What about you, Africa? What about you, great kingdoms of Africa? And we never saw for one single moment that there was a vaccine that is also coming from there. Cuba came up with their own solutions, right? Europe came up with their own. Americans came up with their own. China came up with their own. Even the mask producing of this mask that we are wearing, right? And so it only came to reiterate what Africans have been thinking. What is our role as a continent, and a great continent with kingdoms, with a civilization, with a historical part? What is it that we have done in all this decade, apart from, being marginalized in every form, right? If it is not on the continent, it is in the diaspora, it is worldwide. So those are the effects and those are the impacts. Those are the things that actually open up a wider broad of range that Africans started thinking, that I said, made it a lot were already awoke. But because we were still under the old system in the old decade, before last year's decade, we were not thinking straight. We were so busy with our lives. We were busy with the way we earn our living and concentrating on our projects and our small families or whatever. And, but now that there was a global challenge that requires individual competence and capabilities to solve and address these challenges, we were not found. That is when the biggest crash on the African mindset started. And youths, people worldwide, Africans worldwide, started complaining, started questioning. And we created the platforms. It was just as a matter of sensitization on the global crisis. And before we know, these questions started coming up. Before we know it, we started hosting the conversations. Before we know it, we started connecting. Before we know it, solutions started coming from Africans by themselves for Africa. If we cannot, as a leadership, come up with solutions that would address the needs of young people and our people, then why not us starting by thinking to say it is not a one-man battle, it is a global challenge, like we said. If a global pandemic comes, so it requires a global intelligence. Doesn't matter your geographical space, doesn't matter who you are. If all of us are dying, we're all dying, we're sinking, right? So that is one. I just refresh our memory how we get here, and then we begin to see the how do I say, it's like the continent was unveiled, and Africans on the continent started seeing all the dynamics. Like, oh, wait a minute, you know, we were cut off, but where did our brothers and sisters in the diaspora? Those in the diaspora started having connections in the continent. Like, wait a minute, we always heard other stories. Videos came out, projects came out, voices were rising from north, east, center, right. We heard, I mean, the biggest people, some that we've never known, that we never would have heard about them without the COVID, without the pandemic. Now we see issues arising from step to step that we start questioning. Africans start questioning, people start questioning. What about the AU agenda? And we saw the Africa Rapid Plan came up so soon. We saw the Africa Modernization Plan came up so soon. We saw projects, the ADDI come up. We saw Professor Pierre Olumumba and his organization. We saw King Maponga Joshua, King Bongan, all this. Professor Baina Haiti, Bello of Haiti. I mean, we connected. Professor James Small, all these voices just started popping up, historical voices, cultural activists, advocacy, people that we've never known, organizations like the Marcus Garvey Institution that had been there, Kwame Nkrumah Ideological Institute that had been sleeping. So, we are so right to say that there's some spirits that have been awoken, that without the pandemic, without the shutdown, without the lockdown, that we could come to our own selves, go back to our inner selves and begin to think. Otherwise, it would have been business as usual. We wouldn't have even gone back. Now we're visiting our past. We're doing a lot of research. Who are actually we? Where do we come from? Our history. And now we're still connecting, like in Dominica. And then we know the history. And now we hear about Ethiopia. And the diaspora is involved. Cuba and all that. Zimbabwe and the sanctions. It's been something that we've been, curating and having guests to inform us, educate us. We have learned a lot. We have a lot of power, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. We've hosted thousands of guests and conversations in just a short while. And history has been repeatedly spoken to us that, oh no, who were we? And we even started changing even our narratives. Before we were like, Rome was not built in a day. That is all the English idioms and stuff and quotations and that we used to know. But today Africans are saying the pyramids were not built in a day. The pyramids were built by who? Where did they originate from? How did we get here? And the history of slavery, of Atlantic trade slavery. How did it even started? These are all things that never would have existed prior to the pandemic 2021, 2020. All right. So we see this period as a breakthrough. As yes, a lot has happened, but a lot has awakened. Has touched us, awoken, and has put us on straight, right? So we are grateful for every minute and every time. Like we said, those who passed on, or if I would have passed on without this knowledge, it's like you would have lived on earth without knowing anything, without even knowing your history, without even meeting your people. But you can imagine how we become a melting pot in just a short while. And now just take another 1.5 years ahead and can imagine where we would be. So I'd like to get your opinion, your impressions. What is it that we should be grateful for? It is not only what is it that brings us down. What is it that we should be grateful for this time? And our topic, while I open up the lines, would be the battle is not your own nor mine. We are in another dimension of not fighting black, white, colored. We are in a dimension as we see going through these challenges that there is something more bigger, and it is called humanity. And that humanity in our African language and dialect in our philosophy is called Ubuntu. And if it is a colored word or a non-colored word, so we begin to remove, I mean, we've grown up from just looking at personalities and say, oh, oh, this person did this to me. I think you get the point. We have risen from that. Now we even got up to the next dimension. Oh, this is what they used to do to us. Oh, we were did. And if you can realize it, we've already walked past that. We don't say that anymore. We don't even articulate that anymore. Now we went back into our own self to re-examine our own structures and the way we treat and deal with one another. So we stepped up again on the dimension on what also can we hold ourselves accountable for. That's why we started talking about holding our government responsible, not holding them accountable as if somebody holds somebody accountability. It's only the creator that holds all of us accountable. But then we started looking at each other, things that we could not enlighten one another. We didn't correct each other because we were busy in our own worlds. We didn't even care. We were so egoistic. We were just minding my business, my family, my job, and then that's fine. We didn't worry what the nature was telling us. We didn't care about how other people felt. We didn't care how, voices of the voiceless or the injustice or the incarcerate. We didn't care. It was just, I want to grab for myself, and I'm done. I want to get a big house, get a big car, get a big profession. Oh, now I'm a titled person, and this one is not a titled person, like King Maponga said yesterday. They've already given us systems, have given us position. These are the poor, these are the marginalized, these are the voiceless, these are the old, these are the children, these are the women, these are the men. Put us in every category where we belong, and then they give you according to where you belong to your class. Oh no, you are the weaker ones. Oh, these ones are the vulnerable. Oh no, these ones are the powerful. These are the ones that are the all-knowing, and these are the ones that can tell you how you have to live, how you have to operate, how you have to think and believe and eat and sleep and wake up at what time and go to bed at one time. So all this dynamics is what has been a distraction. So I think, from my own point of view, COVID did not just come, or the pandemic was not just, something, it was just something that happened for humanity to pull back and look at ourselves in the mirror. Personally, globally, how do I treat one another? How do we treat each other? How do we behave? Is there somebody that is perfect than the other? If one does wrong, it takes two. Is it only one or two? So we begin to question. But now we are at that dimension that we should step up to another step, right? We have to grow. We are growing. I've just been giving you the steps which we are growing at. Most of us are not even conscious that we're growing at that level. And we keep wondering, why are our conversations even changing? The kind of guests that we have, like I told you from the beginning, we are not a mainstream media. There is nobody that is a professional journalist that is doing work that is paid. You watching me sitting here, the boys doing the stream, Naisha curating in the background, or the community charts, or the people that share the flyers and do the flyer. All is voluntarily. Our flyers is being produced, and I can tell you, by a Black community in Bangladesh, the African community, indigenous origins, Black Indians, Malaysians, and they're the ones that come in. Can I help? I can help to design this for free. And they do it at any time that we want. That's how powerful, and we have been sustained. Then we see when we are live, like I'm live now, you see people chipping in like yesterday, and they do super chats and they contribute and they do this. Nobody's telling anybody, oh, you have to do. The spirit just moves you. And we know that is us, the spirituality. I don't even need to. Like I told you, I think it's been a month. I've never asked anybody, oh, do you want to contribute or you want to do this? because you just know what you have to do. We just know what we have to do. We're not babies. Like I was having a conversation tonight with Naisha. It's like, oh, it's like we've really been babies. And I'm like, what do you mean, babies? Babies are the most powerful. But why do we always refer to them like just like people that you just tell them anything? But what is even the scriptures of the world telling us? Until you become like babies, you cannot make it. But why are the world systems looking at the babies as the vulnerable? Kojo told us that's the biggest, the most powerful. Yesterday, King Maponga was talking about how the rituals that babies, what do you think they go after babies for, if at all, this is existing? So there must be some powers, powerful, great powers beyond our understanding. So we have moved from that dimension on person to person, accusation, blame game, thinking who was right. Oh, I am perfect. You're not. I am right. You were wrong. Oh, I don't even know. So we've moved on to it to say the challenge that we are facing is beyond human understanding, like it or not. Anything that is happening, it's been designed by the powers that be, the Most High. So the battle is not our own. Anything that we engage in, anything that we are doing, you've been programmed, brought into space, and you are realizing that task. There is nothing you can do with your own powers as a human. Whether you call it, oh, we have to go to battle, we have to go to war, that decision is not in my hands, it is not in your hands. If a life is taken, in the case of war, in the case of anything, I think, and we all thinking that it is a process on which all of us are going through. So yes, I see the calls are already coming in. I want to thank all of you. The lines are open. Call in, share your impression with us. What do you think? What is it that we should be doing? What should we be grateful for? What is the gratitude all about? Okay, I want to hear you calling. Please stay off from, oh, they did this, oh, we think is this. Just tell us, what do you think we should be grateful for at this point in time? Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that the other call dropped off. I'm sorry, and I'll be picking up those calls again. So try and call in again. And I'll be picking up. My technician was around. You could see here the double voices. So call in. What is it that we need to be grateful for? What is it that we should do more? We have a lot of homework to do, a lot of self-development to do, a lot of forgiveness to do, a lot of cleansing to do, a lot of meditation to do, a lot of appealing to do. If we all get past through this, that the powers that be control us, maybe it will make sense for us to drop our guns and look at each other and say we are one, brothers and sisters, from one creator, black or white, we are. Until then, the fingers that we keep pointing at each other, maybe, just maybe, could only help to further our ego, but maybe will not help or change anything. If it is the will, then we are bound to do it. So I want to pick up this first call, and I thank you for calling in. Hello? Hello? Okay, I mean, I can see he's struggling to connect. I don't know whether it's just from our own part or is generally a technical issue from out there, but please, hey, call in, share your impression with us, and tell us what we should do next. What did you learn from this year, particularly us as African people? We also had blamed our ancestors for the crimes that they committed, by handing us over. That's also one thing that we treated this year. And we saw kings that came up to say they're sorry for the sins of their ancestors. But that is person to person. How do we go on from here when we still killing each other? When we still fighting ourselves and blaming always the perpetrator and the penetrator? What about me that goes into those deals with you? How human should we be? Are we dealing with two forces, the human and the non-human forces? Probably that is the position where we are right now. We had guests that came on the show, like our sister Renate, who told us principalities of darkness. We know even the word that is telling us that principalities of darkness, which is all these forces that make us commit some things that we don't know. But the Lord tells you, oh no, you're aware of it. You're sane and you're not insane, right? So yes, we want to share this small topic. Relax. It's a Friday, like our brother Kofi was saying. You can just even call us and tell us where you are watching us from. How has this impacted our lives, right? But I also want to break while I'm waiting. I see the calls coming in, but it's not connecting. I don't know whether it's a technical error from our side or where is it coming from. But we keep the conversation going, and I think we'll successfully be getting these calls as time goes on. Yeah. Good. So, like I said, I also we open up a chat group today because we thought it's time for us to start curating the talents that we have on the continent. And you guess what? Without even 2 hours into it, we already have more than 100 youths across the continent that have signed in this WhatsApp group. And what are we going to be doing? We're going to be training and empowering them. A lot of them are saying they're in the agricultural sector. A lot of them are saying, they are musicians and stuff like that. If you have a talent and you can do anything creative to change the African narratives, please join this WhatsApp group, or you WhatsApp us on this number, because I can share the link right now. I don't know what is happening with your call, you that is calling, and that's the call that we are struggling to pick. Now everything is freezing out here. Can't get your call through. Can you just check? I don't know. The call's not going through. So yes, it is Thanksgiving out there. What were you thanking when you met with your families out there in the United States? What did you give thanks for? Thanksgiving, what does this mean to you? Thanksgiving that I sleep and I wake up every night and I go to work and I don't know what will happen to me. Thanksgiving for what? For connecting ourselves, for moving through or walking across this very dangerous period. Thanksgiving. To who and for what and why? Why is it that period of Thanksgiving? When we still see a lot of people that are just going, and it's not a peaceful world that we think everything is okay. Before you hear today a child has been murdered, the war is raging, and it's strange. It is, we're living in strange times. So, but what should we be grateful for? Is there a lot of things that we need to work up upon ourselves, upon our universe, how we treat each other? Is there a lot of reconciliation to do, a lot of self-development to do, a lot of reflection, meditation to do? I'm not accusing or pointing any person. I work on myself every day, and I learn from you every day. I learn from the teachers that come here, from the community, from each and every one of you, from every chat and comment. I learn every day, and I'm learning. And I cannot be grateful for your comments, for your critics, for your challenges, for your education that has made me more better, much better than what I would have been. So I think you also have learned something. What is it that we should do differently? If the lines are not connecting, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll be rounding up soon. It's almost getting us into 1 hour or 45 minutes into this conversation. And I'm happy I could come live to share this special moment with you. But if our calls are not coming in for whatever reason, I can't say. I don't know why. So yes, I don't know. I keep seeing the calls are coming, but I can't pick it. I don't know what is going on. Yeah. All right. I'll try again. Hello. It's connecting. I don't know. It can be a network issue. Nothing. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting people saying, I can't join. I'm trying to call in and the lines is not ringing. I really cannot tell you what the problem is. I'm so sorry about that. Put it off. Let's...
Hey, Dr. Sultan, how are you, family?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank God. Thank God. I was already thinking, what are we doing wrong? Thank you for calling. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Israel.
From Israel. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you see how Pan-African Daily TV connected us almost all across the world, in different places. We're gathering here every evening, and it's just so powerful, and it make a big impact in the African continent worldwide.
Absolutely.
And just let us keep up this work, and it's just amazing. It's empowering a lot, and we got a lot of feedback even from young generation nowadays, because we're sharing the link every day to subscribe the Pan African Daily TV, and this is the way what we are building unity. We never met, but we became like a very close family, like we're one. And this is what I love about Pan African Daily TV. And please, we don't know how to thank you to give us this platform, all Africa worldwide, and it's belong to us. That's why we call ourselves here as the family. And, everyone join here, join the family. We're here, and we're together.
Thank you very much. You did a very incredible job by connecting us with the guest that told us, Mutasin, that had to educate us on the issue of of Sudan currently. And one of the things that you said was, each time I share the Pan African Daily TV flyer, my peers on the continent in Sudan would ask, what is the Pan African Daily TV doing, to promote or to showcase the situation in Sudan? Did that make a lot of sense for you to say, yes, I also have to do my job to bring a guest?
Let me tell you honestly, Pan African Daily TV group, all of you brothers and sisters you are hearing here, and on behalf of Sudanese people, they thank you a lot to bring, especially that opportunity. Mr. Mutasim sent the message to our brothers and sisters, and it was so powerful, and they were so happy. In different regions, I received their feedback from east, north, even from South Sudan, and this is how the impact of our work we do here every evening, family. And as I said before, let us look Africa, every corner of Africa, each corner of Africa as one.
Yes.
This is what is worrying me a lot. Even currently, yesterday, Sudan military, the militia, they bombed like 7 villages, if you are following what we are sharing.
Yes.
Again, this is the same regime which is ruling Sudan. They bombed like 7 villages yesterday. Just yesterday, I'm talking. And as I said last week, this is African war, dear brothers and sisters, and let us stick together and work together, and through unity we will be able to come over all these challenges. And we appreciate you, we love you, and let us love ourselves, brothers and sisters, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your contribution, for also not just sharing that, but for connecting us. You've been doing a very incredible job. Every single flyer that we drop out there, you are picking it and running it with it. That's what family is all about. Thank you so much.
duty, and even if there is another work, every platform promoting African unity, I'm ready to do the work. You know,
Yes.
every single platform is doing the African unity. We're ready to do. That's our duty.
Yes.
We have no job. That's our job.
Beautiful. That's our job. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Very impressive.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you, Kane. Thank you so much. Yes. Good. Exactly. That's the point. That's the point. I want to thank that caller from Israel. And like you can see, I think he broke those barriers, and now you can call in. And I hear Masha Lawrence from Dominica saying we are listening and we are watching and we're paying close attention, and we're thankful, you know, for this space and this moment in time. Like, if I would not exist or you would not exist, we must have done something that is remarkable and something that is teaching and awakening. Yeah, I think our call is coming in now. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're connected.
Listen, this Paul Brown. Very happy to talk to you. Very grateful to Dr. Tata because you once again include myself until I found this station. And I know who I am now because the virgin that you bring on is grateful. I'm grateful for them because they teach me a lot. From Dr. Small to Mapongo, it's just blessed love to your sister. Blessed love, sister. Thanks for the work.
Thank you. I am thanking you because for the first time, I know we've been exchanging, you know, you share everything, you comment everything, you like everything. And even today when I posted, you know, the story with the, you commented, but we never had spoken like this. Brother, where are you calling from? I mean, I'm so grateful.
I'm
in Philadelphia.
I'm in Philadelphia, the US, you know. But stumbling this program, I was off in June or July. I was off for a couple of weeks. And I stumbled in this program. And believe you me, my eyes wide open. And I'm a Garveyist. And this does open up my eyes. But I can't be more grateful for that time. I just love the way you bring the right people and bring a message to everybody. And I just tell you, man, it's a blessing. And may the ancestor continue to bless you and shine his light upon you.
I share. Thank you. Thank you. You see the warmth that you're putting in my heart in this cold time. You cannot believe it because you know what? Because the way we are so close in changing even our text. And I never even thought for 1 second, you see how much connected we are. And I used to think you're my neighbor right here.
When I watch this program and talk and comment and you comment back, it's like you're right in my living room next to me.
Correct. That is true.
I feel the energy,
Absolutely correct. Thank you so much, Brother Paul. Thank you.
Blessed love to all the brothers and sisters worldwide.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. You see, that's how close we have been during this period. Imagine if there was no COVID, we would have been busy. I never would have met you. You neither me. So, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Our brother from Dominica. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
We can hear you, Lawrence. Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
I say, yeah, there's a very strange sound coming from the studio. Very strange indeed.
I don't know. I don't know what is happening. Like we said, these are all these mad things that are just going around. I don't know from wherever. And it keeps breaking. Right. Even when Brother Paul called, there was, you could hear him faintly. But just go ahead, we're listening. Never mind. That's a distraction.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but but there's it's very loud.
It's loud.
The sound in the background is very loud.
You are louder than the sound. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, yes, but there are some people on the live. There are some people on the live. They say it's too loud. There's some people on the live say it's.
I don't even know where the sound is coming from. I don't know whether it's because from us in the studio, no, but it should be something anywhere on the lines. Let me try. Let me just try again. Okay. This is crazy. Yeah. It's strange. It's strange. Strange happening, strange times. I don't know. I'm so sorry about that. I'm not a technical expert. I don't know how it happened, how it's coming up. But I know I hear you, you hear me. I can understand you. I see you. Those in the chat is also blocking at some point in time. We'll make sure that we fix all this before tomorrow. I don't know where it's coming from. We're gonna get a technical service with us here, even though it's Saturday. Those are just some of those crazy times and things that are happening that you cannot actually say what is happening. Right. I see the comments now. Thank you so much. So I think let us cut it off for today and make it a day tomorrow with Reverend Dr. Ninana. I want to thank all of you that have come in tonight and share your opinion, particularly connecting our brother from Philadelphia for the first time. I mean, the brother from Israel, we've been also getting a feedback from him and the others as well. So yes, let us join in again here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, American time, 8 p.m. South Africa, and that's going to be 11 a.m. in Pacific time out there from what he said. So we're going to be talking about, our solidarity, how much more we should even become more closer in the midst of all this challenge. We have to become more closer to each other. I want to thank you for braving even the noise and the technical difficulties that you're getting out there from your part. I'm so truly sorry about it. And I think I want to pick up this last one. Yes, Queen. You're hearing this noise.
Queen, the warrior.
Thank you.
I love you. Thank you so much. What I think and what I know is that when we're going to start to getting ourselves together, what we should be doing now, every person should be looking at themselves in the mirror.
Yes.
And then looking at yourself. Start to give thanks for being black. Start to be thankful. Know that you are created in the image of God. Okay, which learn your history, how great we are. When God created us, He created us to rule this world, and we were one. It's been in Genesis that when the foreigners came and they were sitting down, the Africans, they said, "How can we stop these people? Because they are all of one tongue." So that means they were building the pyramids, building to the sky. And if we don't stop, the Europeans said if we don't cause confusion, that there will be no stopping these people. They have taken our blackness away from our African, away from us, our souls, our spirituality. We have to go back to the mirror, look at ourselves, and give thanks, not for just the body, but the true person that's inside of you, created in the image of God. Our God is black. Okay, we are children of the sun. And so now when we start here, giving thanks just for being black for yourself, that includes you in the whole continent, the whole African.
Whew.
That's what.
Blessings. Powerful Queen. Blessings.
Thank you,
Black goddess.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you so much. And you know it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. I think there could have been no message that is so powerful to conclude this session for today. Like I said, once more, I do apologize for the noise that you're hearing. Whatever it is, yes, tomorrow we're gonna make it a date with ourselves and get our brother in the studio. I want to thank all of you that have contributed. Mm. So I'm also relaxed to know that I could come to share this moment with you and I could get that calling. So we're going to do that again. We're going to repeat even the open calls tomorrow and Sunday. It's going to be another wonderful period. We just want to share this moment each day with one another, guest or no guest. But if you feel like being a guest on the show, you have something to share with us, even just sitting in the studio with us and we dance like we were dancing yesterday and King Maponga, it's still a good thing. It's still a happy moment. It's still a precious time. And remember, we're going to go through December all together in January and February. We don't know how COVID or the pandemic is acting up. So we need to stay more tighter together, right? Brother Paul, we'll continue our conversation, chatting, and all of you just give a feedback. And like I said, before I close up, we open up a WhatsApp group for young people worldwide because we want to, like you heard King Maponga said yesterday, start the communication and the narratives in our local areas. If you know that you can speak and all of us can speak, we're talk active. I put it intentionally, not talkative, but talk active, for our unity, for our solidarity, for our oneness, for our spirituality, for our culture, for our people, for our history. Yes, join this team. If you can talk, we'll teach you how to talk. If you cannot see, we'll open your eyes to see. Those that have the skills would bring up those that doesn't. All is we want a revolutionary spirit and everybody should be doing the work. A lot of people are so motivated, like I said, to do it, but they don't even know how to start. They don't know what to do. You heard King Maponga say, I want to get me a beautiful studio like this, but it's just nothing. So we want to give you those skills and empower you, and so you can sit at every place and report to us and give us a feedback how connected, how powerful, how strong we are. So we see ourselves tomorrow. Good night to you, family, and stay strong. Asante sana. Madase, Akwaba, tuko pamoja. Bye. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.